This is part 2 of a conversation Omar and I started in a previous video.
No way. All right, so tell us about the Sony a7S9 4 Johnson.
You just broke up so funny. That was awesome. So it's an
I
amazing
lost you.
camera for...
Okay.
Are you there? Are we
Yeah,
together?
yeah,
again?
you're here now. It's that you froze after my joke. I was like, all right, you're going to be like that, yo.
I didn't hear your joke because you froze.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
happened.
All right, I was like, this a-hole doesn't laugh at my bad joke.
He's not funny. He thinks he's cute. So there's so much going on with the a7S3.
Yeah,
That's a funny name to say.
A7S3.
First of all, I'm going to start by this little thing. Over 9 million dot EVF.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's
It's like almost 10 million even.
crazy.
They round it up, you know?
Yeah, so I think I watched a little bit of DP review, and they said that it didn't really look that much better than one that was, like 7 million dots or something. Like
Yeah, go
it's already
figure.
at the point where your eye is like, I don't understand.
It's got, let's see, it's got the max resolution of 4240 by 2832. It's got 12 effective megapixels. Really
Well,
fat
get the hell
ones.
out of here. What is it, 1986, yo?
Like, yo, man, for real. I got a Dell printer that actually takes pictures better than that. Let me stop. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. It's got, you're listening to this? Over 400,000 ISO.
400,000. That's crazy.
It's boosted.
Have you
and it's
seen?
got a minimum,
Have you seen
minimum
any,
of 40.
Yeah. Have you seen any sample footage?
Basically, DP review as well.
Oh, I watched one person that filmed. I got to send it to you, but they filmed, and I'll link it up below. They filmed on a beach, almost like pure darkness, and it looks amazing. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm getting all verklempt here thinking about it.
Well, the a7S2 was pretty amazing in low light.
Oh yeah, that's what it was known for.
It just had other problems, but it was very good at low light.
Philip,
you know what it was?
Here it is. Here it is. It's Philip Bloom. Philip
course.
Bloom.
I like him.
Yeah, so he came out with a7S3 video, and it's called Now I See Part 2. It's like,
That makes a lot of
wow.
sense. That's good. That's witty. I like that.
Philip Bloom is the guy who tested the Fujifilm XT4s. His video is called "Can I Trust the Fujifilm XT4's autofocus?" He's the one that inspired me to try my autofocus videos. He was doing video, so he was doing like can it find my head kind of thing, and I wanted to do photography. So
That makes sense.
Yeah, so my last two videos were based on his, like, hey, can I trust the autofocus on an XT4? He found out it was terrible. And for photography, I found it was okay. It's just not as good as Sony's, as everyone knows.
I think if you had a fatter head, it would find you more. Yeah. So also it's got a flippy screen, fully articulated flippy screen.
What are your thoughts about that?
Here's what I'm gonna say about this camera in general before I even finish with the specs.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah, same here.
It's not for me.
But
It's
that's
got
okay.
so many awesome things to it. There's nothing wrong with this camera. I just will not appreciate any of the greater things that it does.
Yeah, you know
it's
what?
It's meant for video.
Yeah, I was about to
cameras.
say, like, maybe the videographers will leave our cameras alone now. Like, you got your camera, just buy this and stop complaining about the cameras.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing. Like, why are you buying DSLR type mirrorless cameras for video?
Yeah.
I mean, because you're a hybrid shooter. So if you're not a hybrid shooter, go buy a video camera. I'm sorry. There, I said it. I love Casey, and all his videos make me laugh. But to be honest with you, if you're buying these cameras for video only, you're wasting your money.
Yeah, look at all the vlog tests that look like this. They're total shaking all the time.
Yes.
You know, it's like it's IBIS for photos. It's IBIS to shoot at 1 second. You know,
Yeah,
it's not for
the
walking.
IBIS on the Sony sucks.
No, if you use
It's
it
not
for a
meant for
water,
what you're doing it for.
totally. The IBIS on the Fujifilm XT4, I'm shooting it at 1 to 2 seconds. Like I hold it and I press the shutter. And it's like click, click, and I'm like holding my breath, and the picture comes out 1 second shutter, which I never could handhold. I'm like this with coffee. And the picture's sharp. You could read signs and stuff from 1 second.
Exactly. That's what it's meant
That's
to do.
what it's for. Yeah. All right. Did we just vent there or something? We were like,
Yeah, that's what we both did. So
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
beautiful thing about talking on Skype. We have to get this to a point where we're comfortable just staring at cameras and talking to each other on the phone because this Skype thing
Let's do it.
has us prisoner.
The next one, no Skype, guys. Screw
that's
you.
crazy. That's
All
crazy.
right. All right, what else they got? Oh, the
What
cards.
else?
The cards. Can I talk about the cards?
Yes.
So here's how Sony just totally suplexed. Oh, you see how I brought that back right there?
You were just awesome.
Canon just got suplexed by Sony because Canon came out with a new card that you have to buy, a new system that you have to buy. But the Sony has a new card, but it's backwards compatible. So they're using what's called a CF Express A Type A card, but a regular SD card fits in there too. So in a bind, you can always just put the other card in, you know? That's so cool.
Exactly. So if you're not going to be, maxing out what this camera can do, your SD card is going to do just fine, and you're going to get pictures, you're going to get some video. It's not going to give you the full effect of what the camera can do.
Totally.
But that's with every new camera
Yeah,
now that
yeah.
has these new memory cards. That's another thing too. Like back to the Canon, if I don't buy the $9,000 memory card, I can't do anything I want to do. That's kind of heartbreaking, right?
That totally
I mean, it
sucks.
makes sense because an SD card handling 8K, you might as well just throw the camera away because it's going to be so melted in there.
I know, that's true. It's like the plastic. But actually, you can record 8K onto the SD card, like a little bit of a compressed 8K, but you can't. But I think you can't record to both cards, or I don't know. It's so weird.
You know
But
what?
do you-
That's like giving me an alcoholic drink with no alcohol. Okay?
How do you feel about these guys? The
I used to.
the
what was
the CF card.
I used to love my SCF cards.
I love CF cards. They're large. You know, it's almost like a kind of like a Nintendo cartridge. You know, It's
Yeah,
like-
like, yeah.
Is it the Nintendo? Yeah,
Yeah.
those Donkey Kong. I like these little wimpy SD cards, man. They're like all over the place. But these CF cards, I believe these guys were faster. Maybe not so much anymore.
So
Probably
here,
not.
no, now with the new technology and the SD cards, they can whoop them. But here's the thing: when I got my D800 and I got to use the CF card for the first time, I felt like a professional.
Oh,
you know what?
yeah. I was
It
like,
was like, look, I have this card. People are like, can I borrow your memory card? No, you can't
No.
because look what I have here. I'm a man.
I hold them in my jacket. There's like a whole
Oh.
like inner jacket pocket of CF cards. A
Yeah,
little-
you got nothing here, kid. Nothing you could use is here. But yeah, no, but that's the first thing I thought when I went back to the Sony. When I went to Sony, I was like, oh, SD cards. Okay, so I'll just buy the fastest ones that I can get. And you know what? I'm very happy now. Looking
they've been
back at the
okay.
whole thing.
Yeah, even the regular old SanDisk 170 megabytes per second. Those guys are good enough for photos.
And you froze. There you are. Okay.
looking up.
Yeah, exactly.
Forget it. None of my jokes are working because Skype
Flippy
is
screen.
like,
Flippies. It's kicking every time you tell a joke. It freezes. Like,
yeah,
no, he's
Skype
not
is
gonna
like,
tell any
screw you,
jokes.
you ain't funny.
Oh, what else has got? It weighs 1.5 pounds. It has a battery life of about 600 photos.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're gonna kill Canon, suplex them with the battery life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And it's and what else has got? It's got the dual slots, which we always appreciate dual slots.
did you see? It's got a new menu.
Yes, a new
Wow.
vertical as opposed to horizontal nightmare. Now, what are the chances that they're gonna send that down the line as a firmware update?
Well, I mean, it's a great start. It's got the Fujifilm on the side, the folders on the side.
Exactly. So I don't think if they do ever send it back down the old camera ways, I don't think the a7 III will qualify. I think that 4 models, the a7 IV, the
Here's
a7.
my question for you, brother. Here's my
Ask
question.
me, baby. Ask me.
Down the road, let's say all your cameras kind of get old. Your XT3 gets old and your a7 III gets old. Think about all the cameras that are out now, a generation next, like the Nikon that just came out, the next generation, the next a7 III, like the a7 IV. Canon, you're never going to buy a Canon, or sticking with Fujifilm. Which would you buy? Would you stick with another Sony? Like if your Sony dies, would you buy another Sony, or would you try your hand at Nikon with the exciting things they're sort of trying?
Here's the thing. Because I only have 2 lenses that I keep all the time with me, jumping into a new system is not that hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not cheap, obviously. To get 2 other lenses with another system that are quality, you're looking at anywhere between, what, $2,000 to $3,000, right?
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get these lenses replaced. So I honestly, what you saying, I won't go Canon. I've always wanted a new Canon. When I left the film days of my Rebel and I picked up the Nikon, it was only because the Nikon D5000 felt better in my hand than the Rebel
Yeah.
at the time.
Why are cameras
The Rebel
getting,
felt like,
cameras getting smaller? It's weird.
yeah, the Canon Rebel felt like a toy as opposed to the Nikon one. So
Yeah.
in my hand, that's what I always tell people. What camera should I buy? Go pick one up.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Feel
the
it.
the Fujifilm XT4 is too big. It's like an a7 III. I feel like it's lost its Fujifilmness, you know? I feel like, look how big it is.
I can see that. I heard you mention that in one of your
No,
videos,
but
and
look
I thought,
at the XT2. Look at the difference. I don't know if you can
well,
tell
you know
on
what?
camera.
Can you do side by side
Yeah, yeah.
for the people at home?
I mean, it's hard to tell on the camera, but
No, you could tell because one, you're holding one closer, so it looks
yo,
huge.
man, look at the difference in these.
That's huge. Okay,
You know,
all right.
that's how they filmed The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Frodo Baggins. Frodo.
He's
Gandalf.
silly.
Oh my god.
I've known this man all his life too.
Frodo Baggins.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I think first of all, I love the XT3. Where
Damn,
do you fall?
I hate
Where do
you.
you put that?
I kind of want an XT3, man, but I don't really
You
need
can
it. The
borrow
XT2 is good enough. Did I fall
You
out
can
of
borrow mine.
what?
You can borrow mine whenever you want it.
Yeah, I don't want to borrow yours. It's got germs.
So, in 2020, it's been such a tough year for so many different reasons. Yet, it's been the year that every camera creator decided, I'm going to let everything out the house. Let them all out.
The one
Buy
year
it now
that
while you
people
still
shouldn't
can.
Be, yeah, it's the 1 year people shouldn't be spending money.
I'm like, so I should have a sandwich or buy that camera? I don't know.
My house is foreclosed. Ooh,
But
Sony
look at the picture I took of it.
A7S3.
I took a nice picture of the house before they took it away.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's
in
not
low
nice.
light,
That's
12
nice.
megapixels.
Because they did it in nighttime. That's awesome.
Yeah, because they
So-
took their house at night. That's terrible. We're
Exactly.
horrible people.
So listen, if here's the question I'm going to pose to everyone out there: do you need these cameras? That
we
are coming
never need
out?
them. No, and I'm guilty.
There's not. Let's be realistic. They're as awesome as these cameras, and it's in the Sony S7S. No, I can't say this. The Sony a7S3 cost $3,500 starting. What do you need in that camera? What do you need that you don't have now if you're a photographer?
Yeah.
Because mostly we deal with photographers. If you're a videographer, this is your camera. Save up your money. You know, sell your kidney,
If
your
you're shooting
puppies,
weddings
everything.
and stuff,
Buy it.
this is the camera. Absolutely, yeah.
But if you're a photographer, there's nothing that you really need in the R5. There's nothing you really need in the R6, and there's nothing you really need in the S3, the a7S3.
Totally. You could do everything. Oh, sorry. Go.
You buy yourself an Fuji XT3. You buy yourself, if you don't like full frame, if you want full frame, you pick up that a7 III. There's nothing touching that camera, and as long as you can work with the files after the fact, and you don't even have to. If you're shooting for yourself, the output is perfect.
Yeah.
If you're shooting professionally, you tweak them, you make them different, you make them your signature, and you can still do the same thing with your own personal work, like I do. Or you could be foofy like Omar and I, and have your fun camera and your work camera, because that's exactly what it is. You don't want to, take your boots and muddy up your own bed, muddy up someone else's bed.
And let's talk about reality now. Who is your client? Those of you that are looking at these cameras. So if your client are just regular old folks that are watching their wedding video in 1080p, then you could buy stuff that shoots 4K, downgrade to 1080p. Are your clients like commercial clients? Most people aren't. What are you making videos for? YouTube? A 1080p quality video on YouTube is better than a crappy 4K video. Look at Tony Northrup's video he just uploaded today. He even admitted it was crappy. He put on the EOS R6 and he put it 4K 60 because it shoots 4K 60. and somehow the lens was focus breathing the whole time. But 4K 60, if you go to YouTube and put it up on 4K, it looks mushy and gross. Like it doesn't look sharp. And my videos, 4K 30 on this little 6400 look crispy. You even told me once, you were like, "Whoa, what did you film on? That looks super crispy." Remember you said that for that one video?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
But I was actually going to make another point exactly to that. Everyone knows who Peter McKinnon is, I think, in the YouTube world. He has someone that he used to live with that also does YouTube videos.
Matt, yeah.
Matty told me something the other day on YouTube. He pulled me to the side. He said, "Come here, watch this." He does all his videos in 1080p, processes them, pushes it out at 4K.
Yeah.
And then tells YouTube that they're 4K video, which it loads them into 4K.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you're shooting for 4K YouTube videos, you could do it at 1080p. His videos look pretty good too.
All our family videos that I take, like the diaries that I record, are all 1080p because 4K is just way too. It boggles down all the hard drives and the.
Eso mucho. That's too much.
It's too much, man. Eso está mucho.
As my mama would say, you eat with your eyes and your belly's full. Your mom ever tell you that one?
No.
Tú comes con los ojos, hijo nene.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's when you take too much food. Like when you pile on 3 things of rice.
Or typical Tuesday in my house. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right. Good talk.
I'm going to go buy the cameras. Pre-ordering all of them. Thanks.
All of them. Get them.
All right, guys.
All the photography.
We'll see you next time.